The new home of the College World Series is tonight's home to the Valley Championship. And guess who's here? The Wichita State Shockers, trying to win their 18th Valley Tournament title. They've driven their way to the top of the bracket, while Creighton has used 11 different pitchers to scramble their way to the finals. And they have used an inventive way of winning games, including a wild pitch to beat Missouri State in 12 innings. Tonight, we crown a champion in the Valley. College baseball's newest crown jewel, beautiful TD Ameritrade Park in Omaha, is the site of tonight's State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Baseball Championship. The winner gets an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. And good evening, everyone. I'm Mitch Holtis, along with Kirk Champion, the Chicago White Sox minor league pitching coordinator. And a lot of drama here tonight, Kirk, because two teams that don't like each other very much collide here and a bid on the line.
Well, there's certainly a lot at stake. Creighton Bluejays certainly have to feel like they're in the NCAA tournament with the regular season championship and 43 wins. But the Wichita State Shockers, this is probably a must-win. They've got to grab their 40th win tonight and try to get in that NCAA tournament, something they're pretty accustomed to doing. All
right, Champ, let's go right to your State Farm keys to the game for both these teams.
Well, Wichita State's got a couple of things. They want to execute their pitching plan. Charlie Lowell, tonight's starter, he worked just 3 days ago. It's his first start on three days rest. They're going to try to get to TJ McGreevy, their middleman, and their back-end reliever in Cale Elam. It's a pitching plan that Brent Kemnis has got laid out. We'll see if Wichita State can do it. And they also want to stay up with their offensive engine. They've got two guys at the top of their lineup, Tyler Grimes and Kevin Hall, and they sort of set the table. Creighton's going to have to pitch to Chris O'Brien if those two guys can get on base. For Creighton, it's just to continue their sound defense. This is one of the most respected programs in college baseball defensively. They don't make mistakes. They don't want to extend the innings. They've got to catch the baseball like they normally do and stay out of their bullpen and keep from having to throw extra pitchers in the course of this ball game. And they have to follow their leader.
And tonight, the two aces for these teams will be starting their game. As Champ mentioned, Charlie Lowell. Also, Jonas Dupek will start for the Creighton Bluejays.
Bro, where's your car?
It's okay. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, hey, Jake.
My car got jacked.
I got it.
Ladies, guess you're walking. You got those figures for me yet?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there with an intern.
Nice work. Casual Wednesdays!
Whoa! What?
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
Quench your thirst for summertime fun at Casey's General Stores. Buy two 32-ounce Powerades and get one free. Tame your hunger with one of our homemade to-go large taco pizzas for only $11.99. And stop into any Casey's and register to win free gas for a year, along with other great giveaways.
It's all good in the summertime at Casey's General Store.
Tonight's State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Baseball Championship is brought to you by State Farm. State Farm agents are there when you need them. Find an agent or get a quote at statefarm.com. By Purina Dog Chow, long live your dog. By Casey's General Stores, convenience stores, and a whole lot more. And by the farmer-owned Prairie Farms family of dairies. Prairie Farms, Highland and Roberts Dairies, serving farm fresh dairy products throughout Mid-America. And welcome back to TD Ameritrade Park in downtown Omaha on the banks of the Missouri River. Gene Stevenson and his Wichita State Shockers trying to win an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. And this is the Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year. Ed Service has won that award 4 times in his 8 years as Creighton head coach. Has done a brilliant job this year with his ball club. Take a look at Creighton's lineup. It's brought to you by SLU Care Orthopedic Sports Medicine Specialists at SLU Hospital. They can help keep you in the game. This is the best defensive lineup in the nation in 8 years, basically. That service has been here. This is a great defensive lineup. They struggle to score runs, but they will nitpick at you all night. Trevor Adams, though, in the middle of that lineup is the big stick. And for Wichita State, a good athletic defensive lineup. Grimes has struggled at times with 29 errors, but he's a veteran there. He and Davidson very good in the middle of that lineup, and these are athletic outfielders that will chase down would-be hits. And our defense brought to you by Ameren, a proud supporter of the Missouri Valley Conference and the communities it serves. And a look at our series history, a presentation of Rawlings, the official baseball of the Missouri Valley Conference and the NCAA championship. These two teams have met in this tournament 21 times. They've met in the title game 7 times. Creighton has only won 1 of those games. But all 5 of Wichita's wins in this series, in this tournament title game, have all been in Wichita. So Creighton hosting will try to become only the 2nd team in modern Valley history to win in its own ballpark, other than Wichita State. And here's Charlie Lowell, the ace of the Wichita State staff, the left-hander, the Valley pitcher of the year.
6'4", 245-pound junior, like you talked about, 10-4, 2.68 ERA. He pitched in this game 2 years ago, Mitch, as a freshman. He's back on the mound as a junior in the championship game against Creighton.
Kind of the St. Louis area kid, played at Winfield High School in Missouri. He shut down Creighton during the regular season. He went 9 innings through a complete game and struck out 8, allowed no earned runs in that. What about what he does to this Creighton lineup? Because what has been proven so far in this tournament and throughout the year, you better throw strikes. You've got to keep Creighton off the bases, or they will put pressure on you in an unusual way. They're not a big hitting ball club, but they bunt, they take bases, they hit and run, and they do make it tough on a defense.
Well, stuff-wise, Charlie Lowell's going to get you 90-94 with his fastball. He'll throw both 2-seam, 4-seam. He's going to flash a slider in there at 78 to 80, and he'll throw a changeup to some of these right-hand hitters. Controls the running game pretty well. Most left-handers do, but he's got a little bit of a shorter leg kick. He's not got a real big hang move or a great pickoff move, but he can control the running game.
Something necessary against this Creighton lineup. Chance Ross leads it off for Creighton, even though they're playing in Omaha. First pitch swing. Johnny Coy flips it and out at first base on a close play.
Lowell did a nice job getting over there. He had to hold up a little bit right at the base.
So Coy keeps the ball in front of him. Now Wichita State only had 1 game where they struggled defensively. It was a loss to Indiana State. It really forced them to play an extra game yesterday, but in a hustle play by Charlie Lowell to get over and cover. So 1 pitch and 1 out for Creighton here, as they are the designated road team. And the pitch nearly hits Nick Judkins. Judkins, a junior from Lakeville, Minnesota, played at nearby Iowa Central Community College just across the river in Council Bluffs. And he works ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. This Creighton team is patient offensively as well. They'll make you throw strikes, won't they, Shane?
They will, and Charlie Lowell's a big left-hander with a great presence, but he's still got to get on top of the baseball and drive the ball down. Got underneath those first 2 pitches.
Judkins fouls this one off. Judkins is one of the nation's best players in sacrifice bunts. In fact, it's a staple of the Ed Service offense, if you will. But he has had 21 this year, and now he gets hit by a pitch.
You know, talking with Brent Kimnich yesterday, one thing he said as we watched Charlie Lowell is he's got to stay over the baseball. What I mean by that is still he's got to stay tall and drive down. As you look at that pitch, elbow's a little bit low, got up underneath it, just nipped him in the shoulder or nipped him in the elbow, and they've got a runner on.
And the 3-hole hitter, Jimmy Swift. An all-Valley selection at shortstop for Creighton. Takes ball 1 from Lowell. Swift 5 for 21 in the tournament, but he's 0 for his last 10. And now all of a sudden Lowell is struggling, and Chris O'Brien will take a jog out there.
And Chris has caught him a bunch. He understands what he has to do. He's going to have to try to bring the fastball back in on his hands a little bit, make sure he gets some extension and gets that angle that he's looking for. It's going to create a lot more strikes. But he's just missing up arm side right now. He's jumping out there a little bit quick, a little anxious, trying to overthrow and getting underneath some pitches.
That does catch the top of the strike zone, so 2 balls, 1 strike. Chris O'Brien, we'll talk about him throughout the evening, Kirk. Great hitter. A Johnny Bench Award finalist, or a real possibility for that award. But he also calls the pitches for this team, and there's a little shot into right field. Holding at second base will be Judkins. But now Creighton has something working in their first at-bat of the game in the top half of the first.
It looked like a fastball up in the zone a little bit again. Swift was able to shoot the ball into right field. Got in on his hands just a little bit, but was able to get it out, get his bat out through the baseball, and drove it into right field. We got 2 runners on and 1 out. One of the top hitters in the country, Trevor Adams at the plate.
Semi-finalist for the Dick Hauser Award, the Collegiate Baseball Player of the Year. This kid has had an outstanding season, hitting .393 with 14 home runs, led the Valley in that category.
Fastball right there.
Challenged him right away.
Yeah, he's up in the zone a little bit, but he's got a little fastball in the low 90s, and he can challenge some hitters up in the zone, but he needs to work ahead so he can get to his secondary pitches.
You see the numbers on Adams. In the tournament, he's 5 for 16, but he's walked 6 times. An off-speed pitch catches the inside part of the plate, so now Lowell works ahead of Trevor Adams. But Trevor Adams, he's had to be patient too, because people just haven't given him many pitches to hit this week.
Exactly right. When anytime there's a base open, he's certainly pitching him backwards, and he hasn't seen a lot of fastballs.
And that's into left field for a hit. They're going to send a runner around third. The throw is going to be cut off, and Creighton's got a 1-0 lead on an RBI single by Trevor Adams.
He got a fastball right there, was able to stick it in the 5-6 hole. You look at it, in on his hands a little bit, was able to pull it. Lowell throwing him the slider the pitch before and came back with a fastball down and in. Adams was able to fight it off and found a hole.
He has now reached base in 42 straight games. That's the best by a Creighton player in 11 years. As Creighton now with runners at first and second and 1 out. And here's Alex Staley. Staley, a sophomore from Sugar Grove, Illinois. He has struggled in this tournament, Kirk. He's just 2 for 20.
We'll see if O'Brien can get back to that slider. He started him off there with a little back foot slider for strike 1. He was swung right over it.
Ball kind of drops down there and misses. Ball 1 count, even at 1 ball, 1 strike. So Creighton, Judkins was hit by a pitch, and then Jimmy Swift and Trevor Adams with back-to-back singles, and Creighton leading 1-0. Lowell misses away, and now all of a sudden Staley ahead in the count. A liner towards right, but it's chased down by Lambert. And back to second base safely is Jimmy Swift. I mentioned the athleticism of these Wichita State outfielders. Lambert has had a good tournament, but both Kevin Hall's made a couple great catches throughout the week, but Green, Hall, and Lambert, pretty good 3 to cover this wide expanse of TD Ameritrade Park.
Yeah, big outfield ballpark here, 375. The alley's 408 to dead center, but Hall can really go get him in center, and Lambert made an excellent play going to his glove side there to run down that fly ball. 2 outs and 2 runners on.
Take a look at this gorgeous ballpark. It's really a big league ballpark feeling. And I'm just anxious in June as the swing and a miss from Scott Thornburg. When the College World Series teams get here, what they're going to think of this place. I think they're just going to love it.
Well, they're going to be amazed. Omaha did it right. They really did. The Quest Center sits right out behind us in center field, and it's just a beautiful ballpark. Going to be a great venue for the next 25 years of that College World Series.
Lowell misses away to Scott Thornburg. 1 ball and 1 strike. Thornburg just 2 of 18 in the tournament, but he had one of his better series this year against Wichita State in Wichita. In fact, he was 3 for 9 in the series and had 2 RBIs and 2 doubles in the one game that Creighton won at X Stadium Tyler Field during the regular season.
Lowell finally ahead of a hitter here. Use the breaking ball to get to 1-2. We'll see which way O'Brien goes now. Slider again.
A look at Jimmy Swift at second base. Trevor Adams had the RBI single. Behind him, the 2-2 pitch. It's a foul. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Scott Thornburg. These Creighton hitters too will make you work the count. They will. You can get your pitch count pushed pretty high against these guys.
Well, they're going to fight off pitches. There's no question. That ball's out over the plate a little bit, and he's able to fight it off.
Grounder that leaks into left field. They're going to try to score Swift. Green charges the throw. Short, and now they've got the runner, Adams, caught between second and third. They tag him out, but Creighton gets a second run in the inning. He's out 7-2-5, but Creighton this year, when scoring first in a game, is 30-7. Right now, they lead 2-0. Wichita State coming to the plate. Creighton gets 2 runs on 3 singles against Shocker ace Charlie Lowell, and Creighton takes a 2-0 lead as the Shockers come to hit in the bottom half of the first. Take a look at our bracket. It's been an interesting week. Our State Farm Valley bracket brought to you by State Farm. State Farm agents are there when you need them. Find an agent or get a quote at statefarm.com. It has been a week really kind of dominated. The long ball's really not been a part of this tournament. Only 6 home runs in the entire tournament in this vast ballpark. And look at Gene Stevenson, what a career he has had. 34 years as the Shocker head coach. He's won this tournament 17 times. He's been to the NCAA tournament 27 times. And of course, Omaha, the site of his biggest moment when he won the College World Series in 1989. This is a good lineup at the top of the order. They need to get some pop in the middle from Springer, Coy, and Lambert. Chris O'Brien, one of the best catchers in the country. Our starting lineup's brought to you by SLU Care, orthopedic sports medicine specialist at SLU Hospital, who can help keep you in the game. And Jonas Dufek will start for the Creighton Blue Jays. He pitched on Wednesday morning, so he's only going on 2 days rest. So they're going to throw him a whole lot tonight. But Dufek, you could argue him. Look at his numbers, champ, because he would have been a candidate for pitcher of the year. Edged out by Charlie Lowell, but he's had an incredible year at 10-1.
At 10-1 on a 2.23 ERA, he certainly is a candidate for pitcher of the year in this league. But he's been their ace. But like you talked about, because of weather, his game 1 start was forced to Wednesday morning, and that makes it a little bit different on how long they're going to be able to use him this evening.
He pitched 8 innings in that Wednesday morning win over Bradley as Tyler Grimes fouls one up the left field line. Let's take a look now at the Creighton defense, brought to you by Ameren, a proud supporter of the Missouri Valley Conference and the communities it serves. And again, since Ed Service has taken over as the Creighton head coach, Creighton has been the nation's best team defensively. This is not a team that makes errors. And they, like Wichita State, are athletic in the outfield. And their infielders do a very, very good job. Ed Service stresses defense, and his team shows it.
And you watch it between innings. It may not show up on television, but they work on double plays a little bit between innings, and they really do a nice job of keeping force outs in order.
Tyler Grimes strikes out looking. That doesn't happen very much.
It looked like a breaking ball right there and just locked him up.
Dufek struck out Wichita State 12 times in the regular season on May 7th in Wichita as he won at X Stadium Tyler Field. And here's Kevin Hall. The junior outfielder, just 2 of 14 in the tournament. Off speed, Hall out in front of it. You mentioned it, Kirk. If Wichita State can get Grimes and Hall on, to me that's probably the biggest key to this game for either squad.
Well, it does. It forces them to have to pitch to the middle of the Wichita State lineup.
And Hall swings and misses. 2 hitters, 2 strikeouts for Dufek. And here's Johnny Bench Award and All-American candidate Chris O'Brien, who has been brilliant in this tournament. O'Brien, the Joe Carter Valley Player of the Year, hitting .407 in the tournament. He's 6 for 14. He's got a 28-game hitting streak. He hits from both sides equally well. An on-base percentage near 50%. And top 10 in the country, Kirk, in hits, doubles, and total bases.
Well, he does it from both sides of the plate, so he's a double threat. You can't really get to him because he's going to jump around on the other side and swing the bat well. But a real good-looking hitter, balanced hitter, can hit for an average, doesn't run too bad for a big guy.
And lines one into the gap in right center field with 2 outs. Cut off by the right fielder Adams to hold Chris O'Brien to a single, and the hitting streak now has reached 29 games.
Looked like it was an off-speed pitch, maybe a two-seam fastball change in on his hands a little bit. He was able to fight it off and shoot it into right center. That's hit number 100 for the year. He leads the nation.
And now Preston Springer, the 4-hole hitter for Wichita State, who has struggled in the tournament, just 2 of 18. But he's 0 for his last 15. Last year he was the Valley Newcomer of the Year as a junior college transfer, and he's been all Valley the last 2 years. Fouls that one back to even the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Creighton again getting 2 runs in the top half of the first to lead 2-0. See Springer popping the bat with 10 home runs. In fact, he had 4 straight games with a home run in mid-April. That was the first for a shocker to do that in 11 years.
Dufek doing a nice job of mixing his pitch as well. In talking to their pitching coach Rob Smith last night, he said a lot of times they're going to pitch these guys backwards. That's a plan that they try to execute to Wichita State. They did it earlier in the season, and so far that's the plan again today.
Zach, you're going to get another off-speed right here. No.
Just a combination of mixing things. You know, shoot the fastball, mixing the changeup, drop the breaking ball. They're going to play behind O'Brien now at first base.
This is inside, and now the count full. And O'Brien's going to be able to get a jump here on this pitch. Fouled away by Springer. Gene Stevenson told us today O'Brien has been so constant, but he has got to get Springer, Coy. Lambert's had a great tournament, but Springer and Coy have got to get going tonight for Wichita State to win this game.
Yeah, it's very difficult, especially down 2 runs now. It's not going to be one guy. O'Brien can't do it himself if those runners at the top of the lineup don't get on, but some of these other hitters in the middle lineup are going to have to come through.
Lined up the middle and in for a hit. O'Brien stays put at second. So back-to-back singles here for Wichita State, trying to get something done with 2 outs in the first.
Those leadoff hitters fail to get on, and we get 2 base hits and nothing to show for it as of yet. Like a fastball middle of the plate. Springer did a nice job of driving in. It's right in front of Chris O'Brien. Has no place to go to get to third base. Runners at first and second. And here's Johnny Coy,
the All-Valley first baseman. So 2 shocker runners. Coy 4 for 17 in the tournament. A .275 hitter, transferred in from Arizona State a couple years ago. Was a freshman All-American last year. And Dufek works ahead in the count, catching the outside corner.
The slider again was able to drop the first pitch in on the outside corner like you talked about. Tried to expand the strike zone. Coy in this tournament, we've seen him, he'll chase some pitches out of the zone. You can elevate the fastball on him at times. He's got to be a little bit of a disciplined hitter.
Kid out of St. Joe gets challenged here. This is going to be playable up the right field line, and Wichita State strands 2 in the first. At the end of one in our Valley Championship, an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament on the line. Creighton with a 2-0 lead after one.
Hey, I've got an idea. When replacing home appliances or electronics, look for the Energy Star label. It means high efficiency products and lower energy bills too. Little label, big savings.
0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Tommy, T-H-O.
Cece, glad you made it.
Ricky wins again.
Oh, what is this place?
Iowa, only with maximum Pepsi taste and 0 calories.
Whoa.
I love it when he does that. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
Your dog's one of a kind. And now, you have the power to help significantly extend his healthy years. A groundbreaking 14-year study by Purina proves that puppy chow, then dog chow nutrition, fed properly over a lifetime, can help extend his lovable antics up to 1.8 healthy years. Long live your buddy.
Oh, nice.
Long live your dog. Purina Puppy Chow and Purina Dog Chow.
Hey, I've got an idea. Shed the right light on the subject. CFLs come in different hues, cool ones for reading or warm ones for relaxing. There are energy-saving CFLs for just about every use. Now that's a happy ending.
Mitch Holtis back with you along with Kirk champion Gene Stevenson. Only Ige Garrido of Texas has more career wins among active Division I college baseball coaches than Gene. As Charlie Lowell facing Anthony Benboom here to start the second. Long run by the shortstop Grimes and the left fielder Green, and drops into foul territory. Mentioned Grimes has been a staple for this team at shortstop for 3 years. A Wichita kid, went to North High School.
Really a talented shortstop with an above average arm. He just sometimes has to slow it down, but can make the great play. It's just key is making this routine play.
And on that note, he makes his 30th error of the year. It was interesting, we were talking with Gene Stevenson today, Champ, because he's had more errors this year than he's had in the last 2 combined, and he's been an everyday player for them since early in his freshman season.
Yeah, at times it probably gets in your head a little bit. He had a situation right there. I'm not sure he had the back end to play, but the ball came up on him a little bit. Kind of a tough hop, but certainly a play he's capable of making and should have made.
And here's one of the real stories of this tournament for Creighton. Clay Kuno looks to bunt here with a run at first and nobody out. This is big time bunt situation for Ed Service's team. This kid has come out of nowhere in the tournament. Interesting story. Started at Fort Scott Community College, went to Nebraska. He was the opening day starter for Nebraska his sophomore year, and then suffered a back injury, was out for the season. So he goes back to Hutchinson Community College and then transfers into Creighton. He's only had 5 doubles all year, all in this tournament. He's had 8 hits all year, 6 in this tournament. Swings away and drives one to center, but backpedaling is Hall and chases it down. So another good swing by Kuno. But again, Hall will cover a lot of real estate in center field for Wichita State.
Yeah, Hall plays medium depth out there, but he got a great jump and tracked that the whole way. When it left the bat, it looked like it had a chance. Wind blowing slightly out to left center. That ball may carry over his head, but Hall made it look easy.
And here's the 9th place hitter, Mike Gerber. Ed Service likes to move his lineup around. Gerber actually capable, 4 of 18 in the tournament. In fact, hit an inside the park home run against Wichita State in Wichita during the regular season. Just misses inside, and the count 1-1 to Mike Gerber. 2-0 Creighton.
Yeah, Lowell had a little bit of a high pitch first inning, 22 pitches, and it's been because he hasn't really been able to establish the command of his fastball yet. He's hit on a few of them, but it's been his slider has been in the zone more often.
Gerber's got 6 home runs. In fact, he hit the first home run in TD Ameritrade Stadium history That was against Southern Illinois during the regular season.
Again, finds his own with a breaking ball.
Ben Boom at first. Stolen 5 bases in 9 attempts. Creighton won't necessarily steal a lot of bases, but they'll hit and run and start runners, bunt and run, do a variety of things. And Gerber foul tips it into the mitt of Chris O'Brien, and Charlie Lowell's got a strikeout.
It looked like a good fastball in on his hands a little bit. Just beat Gerber, brings up Ross. Ross was sitting down at the bottom of the lineup most of this tournament, but swinging the bat so well. Bought himself some fastballs and really swung the bat well against Southern Illinois a couple of days ago. But he's been a big part of this offense the last few days and gotten Creighton into the championship ballgame. This is a situation where you can probably run somewhere in this at bat. Ross, the leadoff hitter, can turn around and lead off next inning if O'Brien throws him out. But we'll see if he gets him in motion, tries to make something happen.
Lowell down 2-0. The Shocker left-hander's not lost since early April when Hawaii beat him. Lowell did not lose a Valley game this year. There's a couple no decisions. He won the first game of this tournament for Wichita State, so he's won his last 6 Valley decisions as a Shocker starter.
Misses again with a fastball away. Those 2 earned runs in the first inning. He's only given up 7 earned runs in 8 starts in Valley play this year. So he hasn't found himself in this situation very often.
He's got Ben Boone leading back toward first base in the last couple pitches. 2-0 Creighton. Hit and run, swung on and fouled into the stands, first base side. Closed captioning for tonight's Valley Championship made possible by Emerson, the global technology and engineering company. To learn more, visit emerson.com. Emerson, consider it solved. Ben Boom at first for Creighton. Reach on an error by Tyler Grimes of Wichita State. Great pitch by Lowell. And back-to-back strikeouts by the Shocker ace. It's Creighton 2, Wichita State nothing, heading to the bottom of the second.
SluCare Sports Medicine at St. Louis University Hospital treats sports injuries such as ACL tears, rotator cuff injuries, and early knee arthritis that often result from the weekend warrior activities of people who exercise occasionally. If you have a sports injury, let our team help you get back in the game. To schedule an appointment at our Midtown or West County offices, call 314-977-4440 or visit sluhospital.com.
Hello, I'm Rick Navarre, president of St. Louis-based Peabody Energy. Peabody is the world's largest coal company. Coal is vital to America. It provides half the electricity in the United States. Peabody fuels electricity needs in 21 countries on 6 continents. And we are a global leader in clean coal solutions, providing affordable energy security and made in America economic stimulus. I invite you to visit us at peabodyenergy.com.
Where can you get the best milk? From Tom, from Russ, from Laura, and Maggie.
It comes from all of us.
We're Prairie Farms, and we don't just work for the dairy, we are the dairy, making sure the dairy products in your child's school, in your stores, and on your table are fresh and healthy, handled with the kind of care that your family deserves.
We are Prairie Farms Dairy.
Ask for us, the farmer-owned dairy.
Back in Omaha, Creighton on top of Wichita State, 2-0 as the Shockers get ready for their second chance to hit against Jonas Dufek. Time now for our Valley Conference standings, brought to you by Purina Dog Chow. Long live your dog. Great year for the Valley. In fact, look at this. 5 different teams had 10 wins in the Valley. But the biggest news is this team, you look at the overall records, the Valley's number 7 in the RPI, Kirk.
And what that means, if Creighton wins this game, this is really going to help their seed. They're going to get the automatic bid. They're probably going to, like I said, they're going to get a bid anyway, but that's what's at stake for them is maybe drive them up in a good situation in the regional. Wichita State arguably is in the tournament anyway, win or lose, with the RPI this high. They've played a good, tough schedule, 39 wins, so certainly a good argument for a lot of people that the Valley can get to anyway.
Lambert has had a good tournament. The Baylor transfer 8 of 15, but floats one to center here and flies out to start the second inning. In fact, the Valley, let's take a look now at Gene Stevenson. This is why this is a big night tonight for Gene. The Shockers have not missed back-to-back years in the NCAA tournament since Gene's first 2 years at 21st and Hillside. They dropped baseball in 1970. He brought it back and brought it back. He got him in the tournament its third year. It's remarkable. We all know what he's done. 27 NCAA tournaments, College World Series championship, got to the finals and a couple other times. This is a big night for Gene, Kirk. He doesn't win tonight and doesn't make the tournament. It goes all the way back to when he began at Wichita State.
Yeah, it's certainly on his mind, I'm sure, and he's got a ball club that can certainly do well in the postseason. He's just trying to get him positioned to get there.
With one out, Dane Parker. Up there now, the Shocker third baseman, a freshman. And he's gunned down by Dufek. Third strikeout for Jonas Dufek of Creighton.
Drives his fastball right there. He's able to back up a couple breaking balls and then all of a sudden bust him with a fastball there for the strikeout, and really doing a nice job of mixing his pitches and getting to a quality put-away pitch. Change up there.
Here's Shocker left fielder Micah Green. He's struggling. He has yet to have a hit in the tournament. The freshman from Aurora, Colorado. He's 0 for 14 in the tournament and hitting just .246 for the season. And gets a turn on this one and drives it to left field, but line to the left fielder Bembu. And Wichita State goes in order in the second. It's 2-0 Creighton at the end of 2. Back at beautiful TD Ameritrade Ballpark in Omaha, Creighton leading Wichita State 2-0. Kirk, a big change this year in college baseball. Safety reasons, a lot of discussion, but they have changed the bat in college baseball. How has it changed the game?
Well, you're not getting the carry off the bat as much as you did with the aluminum. They've made some changes, and it is really effective. It's becoming more of a pitcher's game again. I don't think you're going to see balls. Micah Green right there, center cut that baseball, hit the ball well. Didn't carry like maybe it would have a year ago. And I think it's going to change how clubs are built now. You're going to put a little bit more emphasis on speed. You're going to do maybe some hit and runs a little bit more where you don't just sit back and wait for the extra base hit.
In talking with Gene Stevenson today, he said, listen, hitters can still hit with this, but it's maybe taking away the cheap hit. Because we've seen that in college baseball. A guy hits something down on the end of the bat or something down, near his hands and still is able to drive the ball. But right now, is it How much more similar is it to a wood bat situation?
Probably closer than it's ever been in a long time, because like you talked about, the ball in on their hands, they can't sit and fight off and still get some carry. You know, good hitters are going to hit the ball in the sweet spot of the bat, and good hitters are still going to be good hitters. But you're not going to see them fist balls in the outfield off their hands, or like you talked about, off the end of the bat sometimes, still be able to keep the ball, you know, in play with some carry.
I think it gives Creighton a heck of an advantage. That in this ballpark is Judkins, who scored the first run of the game in the first inning when he was hit by a pitch by Lowell. But it really plays to Creighton's game. This ballpark, emphasis on defense, and the way they play offense, the new bat really helps the Blue Jays, I would think.
Well, their style of play is certainly conducive to the little game. They'll put the ball and play with the bunt. They'll start some runners. They'll do the little things. And I think that's going to maybe level the playing field with programs somewhat. They're not going to be able to just live and die on the extra base hit. And it's going to keep your quality pitchers on the mound a little bit longer.
Judkins fights off the full count. Delivery from Charlie Lowell. I think I mentioned earlier Judkins. He was at Iowa Central Community College. That's in Fort Dodge, Iowa. And the breaking pitch he puts in the same part of the stands.
He pitched at bat so far, threw the breaking ball for a strike, and Judkins was able to foul it off. He's starting to settle in a little bit. Lowell is, and commanding two pitches right now, and he's attacking the strike zone much better. Looks like a fastball away here. Once again, Judkins is able to fight it off.
Judkins only a .223 hitter, but he's had some big hits this year, Kirk. He beat Nebraska with a big RBI. In fact, that's one of the best college baseball rivalries now in the country. When Creighton plays Nebraska, they'll get crowds over 20,000 here in Omaha for that rivalry between those two schools, and Lowell finally gets rid of the feisty Judkins. Tonight's Prairie Farms Valley Scholar Athlete of the Game is Creighton's Ty Block, a sophomore left-handed pitcher from Centennial, Colorado. He had a great year, 10-2, a 2.83 earned run average, 87 strikeouts and 92 1/3 innings of work. A two-time Valley Scholar Athlete of the Week, a 3.8 in business. He's also a 2010 Freshman All-American choice. The Prairie Farms family of dairies, Prairie Farms, Highland, and Roberts Dairies, serving farm fresh dairy products throughout Mid-America. Boy, he's going to chase this one, but it'll drift into the stands first base side on the foul by Jimmy Swift. Low little pop now. And Kirky struck out the last three Creighton hitters.
And he's doing a little much better fastball command right there. Went to a shake fastball, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But there it is again. He commanded the fastball in the outer half of the strike zone. Swift caught looking. Looks like a two-seam fastball, or maybe a four-seam that just stays on the outer edge. Brian did a nice job of giving him a good target. They'd gone inside with a fastball before that. Looked like Swift maybe looking slider right there and got frozen with a fastball on the outer edge.
Well, he went through 8 hitters, and Lowell didn't strike out anybody. Now he's struck out 4 in a row, and here's Trevor Adams. And with nobody on, I'm curious how Lowell will pitch him. Because in this situation, that's the kind of pitches he's been getting throughout the tournament. Adams has 6 hits in the tournament, but he's walked 6 times.
Good fastball on the outer edge there.
Adams got Creighton on the board in the first inning. Good compact swing. The throw is going to get an RBI single. Creighton with a 2-0 lead.
There's not a lot of movement in his swing. When you look at him, he's pretty balanced. He's able to fight off the breaking ball earlier in this tournament. He's been able to hit breaking balls, and with the base open, a lot of times he's not getting many fastballs to hit.
And with power, he's got 14 home runs and led the Valley. And that's one of Lowell's best pitches right there to even the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See what direction they choose to go right here. They've thrown a couple different pitches. Looks like a shake. He's going to shake twice, and he's going to throw him a changeup.
And misses the count full. Sprays it foul. Ed Service last night telling us that Adams really made a jump up this year and just learning how to hit and to play within the Creighton system. There's times he says maybe he gets a little over anxious thinking they need him to have power in the middle of that lineup. And walks here.
Walked him on a fastball in. Real patient right there. I mean, it was amazing that with 2 strikes, he's had such a good eye. I like to talk about being a balanced hitter. He knows what he's looking for. He knows the strike zone. And even though Lowell has been around the plate, he's in his 21st pitch this inning, 56th in the game. And that's not really fitting in the game plan for these Wichita State pitchers.
Here's Alex Staley, who lined out to right field. Had a good swing on a pitch from Lowell, but it was chased down by Lambert in right. Look at Trevor Adams. I want to ask you about his leadership. You mentioned at the outset of the game, but Ed Service mentioned it last night. He said as much as he's been great on the field, he's been as good in their clubhouse and in their dugout. Trevor Adams.
Yeah, great leadership qualities, and he said in their dugout he's really taken charge and stayed on guys when sometimes it's tough playing this many games in a short time frame.
Fly out ends Alex Staley's at bat, and Creighton in the 3rd. So after 2 in the 1st, Creighton shut out in the last 2, and it's 2-0 Creighton heading to the bottom of the 3rd.
Have you tried one of these? This is so good. Man, I can't believe we haven't done this before. Oh, wow, look at that.
Want a bite?
You're aging. Do the jingle. Do the jingle. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, guys.
Do it again. Do it again. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In my office.
State Farm.
I think we're good.
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
Quench your thirst for summertime fun at Casey's General Stores. Buy 2 32-ounce Powerades and get 1 free. Tame your hunger with one of our homemade to-go large taco pizzas for only $11.99. And stop into any Casey's and register to win free gas for a year, along with other great giveaways.
It's all good in the summer. Casey's General Store.
2-0 Creighton in the Valley Championship here, brought to you by State Farm in Omaha. Time now to check in with our Cardinal Glennon Children's Medical Center Specialty Awards winners, where love for kids just keeps on growing. Pitcher of the year, Charlie Lowell, getting the start tonight for Wichita State. Newcomer of the year, closer Dan Kickham for Missouri State. He threw the wild pitch last night to allow Creighton to get to the championship game. Nick Petrie, an outstanding, the ace. He became the ace for Missouri State and their Friday pitcher in league games. For Keith Gutton's ball club had that heartbreaking loss last night against Creighton. Walker Davidson up, the number 9 hitter for Wichita State. Davidson has struggled. He's 3 for 12 in the tournament, 249 for the season. Gene Stevenson would love to see him get on base, but not this time. And Dufek's got his 4th strikeout. There's Joe Carter Player of the Year, Chris O'Brien. Again, the Johnny Bench Award candidate for the best catcher in the country. Certainly his numbers have proven that. And Tyler Grimes up, the leadoff hitter, struck out looking his first time up. As Ed Service on the phone already, they were going to do this relay race pitching effort. They don't want to overpitch Jonas Dufek. He again pitched on Wednesday morning and threw over 100 pitches. And you mentioned, Chant, that they're going to be heading to the NCAA tournament. If they play Friday, that would give Dufek Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday rest, but you don't want to overpitch a kid and hurt his arm.
Well, they have to treat this almost like a side day. They've got a pitch number in their mind, and he's in the upper 30s right now. Ty Block is warming up right now, and 39 pitches, 24 of those for strikes. But he's somewhere in the street. If they have to take him out in the middle inning, if they're comfortable with it, their goal has to be have him ready in the postseason. and that's the way they're handling. Block is warming up in the bullpen. Dufek looking for something he could throw on the ground right now for a double play ball and get out of this inning.
But Grimes does what he does best, and that's get on base. He has been just fabulous for Wichita State in his 2.5 or 2 3/4 years for the Shockers. Top 10 in the nation in walks and runs scored, and a .450 on base percentage. And now Kevin Hall's got to do something behind him.
Dufek continues to command 2 off-speed pitches, and then every once in a while try to sneak the fastball by him. But it is Hall trying to get on base here to get to that middle lineup. O'Brien sitting on deck.
And Gene Stevenson will start Tyler Grimes. He won't be afraid to do that. Grimes 26 stolen bases this season in 30 attempts. Paula Jr. from Springfield, Illinois. He also has fought through some injury situation. In fact, he hard-shipped in 2009 with a back injury. That one's way up. Wasted by Dufek.
Tried to ride the 0-2 fastball upright here. Probably go back to something off speed.
Hall just 2 for 15 in this tournament. Creighton with the advantage, and Grimes still has the attention of Jonas Dufek. Tries to work the outside. Grimes on the move and steals second base, but it's a strikeout. Is Hall trying to protect it?
Even down 2 runs, Gene, in this situation, what he's thinking there is probably going to look for an off-speed pitch. That's been the pattern that Dufek's been going with. He rode the fastball up 0-2, figuring he's going to get a breaking ball. So in a situation you're down 2 runs, you don't necessarily maybe run in that situation. Looks like Ed's going to come get him right now. He's seeing what he's wanted to see. Pitch count wise.
Pitching change because of Dufek's pitch count here. Again, Creighton thinking about the NCAA tournament as well as trying to win tonight. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Casey's General Stores, convenience stores, and a whole lot more. Well, Creighton makes a pitching change, but Jonas Dufek gets Creighton through 2 2/3 innings. And again, Dufek, the ace of the Creighton staff. But Ed Service is going to approach this almost like a side bullpen kind of day. Just that you've got umpires and a trophy and players here. But he was not going to overpitch Jonas Dufek tonight.
Well, he's going to start game 1, I assume, in the regional, and that's why, 35, 40 pitches wherever he got to, and you just talked about it, was their plan. And it happened to show up with 2 outs, and they went ahead and made the pitching changes, turns Chris O'Brien around, and he was 2 for 4 against Block with a double back in April. So they're familiar with each other, but this was the plan, and it didn't matter who was coming up, what the situation was. Maybe they do want to turn O'Brien around, but Dufek gave him what they expected. He took him into the 3rd inning, 2 2/3 innings, and he'll be ready to go next week.
Let's take a look at Block's numbers again. He was the first pitcher in the Valley to win 10 games this year. Left-hander from Centennial, Colorado. Was 10-2, so 2 10-game winners of the 3 10-game winners in the Valley this year. And these numbers, much like Dufek, 2.83, struck at 87, and only walked 27. Now, he struggled, though, on Wednesday night. They lost to Missouri State here. Their loss in the tournament when Missouri State clobbered him. He only went 2 2/3 in that game, Kirk, threw 68 pitches and gave up 5 earned runs in 2 2/3.
So he's got a chance to stretch out a little bit more in the middle here, but he's trying to redeem himself. He's got the maybe one of the toughest hitters in the country to come out of the bullpen to face. Wichita State's got a runner in scoring position. They're looking to get on the board, cut this lead in half. They've got the right guy at the plate to do it.
The Joe Carter Valley Player of the Year, top 10 in the nation in hits and doubles, is Chris O'Brien.
Block chooses to address the runner a little bit with the inside move. I don't think Grimes is going to look to steal here. I think they're going to give O'Brien a chance to swing the bat.
8 hits by O'Brien this season against Creighton. An excellent pitch drops in there for a strike. But you mentioned now O'Brien as good from the right side as he is from the left side. That is rare in college baseball.
It certainly isn't. Twice in this tournament he's gotten hits from both sides of the plate. He's up there now right-handed, fought off a ball in on his hands left-handed for a base hit earlier in the ball game.
And if the name O'Brien is familiar to you, it should be. He has a shocker legacy. His daddy Charlie played 16 years in the big leagues. His daddy had 800 games in the bigs with 8 different teams. And he caught Gene Stevenson's first team that went to the College World Series Finals. They lost to Miami of Florida in 1982. O'Brien chases one up, but it's out of play.
We won't run into Charlie probably after the game, but Gene did say Chris is a better hitter than his dad was, and his dad played a long time. So
I'm just curious about Chris's future. If somebody's going to take a look at a switch hitting catcher that can hit like this kid. And if somebody will not give him a chance. A strikeout swinging. Ty Block strikes out the Joe Carter Valley Player of the Year. It ends Wichita State's 3rd inning. At the end of 3, Creighton leads Wichita State 2-0.
Hey, I've got an idea. Replace 20 bulbs in your house with Energy Star qualified bulbs, and you can save an average of $100 a year. Really, you will. I'm not yanking your chain.
If you want your next trip to Omaha, Nebraska to be something extraordinary, stay at the official hotel of the Missouri Valley Conference, the Holiday Inn downtown Omaha. It features spacious rooms, microwaves, mini refrigerators, 24-hour fitness center, indoor water park, on-site sports bar, and Scooter's Coffee House. Located next to TD Ameritrade Park and minutes from the airport, Quest Center, Creighton University, and shopping and dining in the historic Old Market. Holiday Inn downtown Omaha, the official hotel of the MVC.
The online store at MVC-sports.com is the #1 stop to get Missouri Valley Conference merchandise. With thousands of items, you'll find all the MVC gear you need in one place. You'll find the best selection, great customer service, and fast 3-day shipping for only $4.99. You'll also get an easy and enjoyable experience designed to help you find exactly what you're looking for. So if you want the best place to get Missouri Valley Conference gear, head to the online store at MVC-sports.com.
Hey, I've got an idea. Increase your energy savings with more compact fluorescent light bulbs. They come in all shapes, sizes, and wattages. Think of it as mood lighting, because saving money will put you in a better mood.
The Creighton Bluejays have never won the Valley regular season title and tournament title in the same season. They're trying to do that tonight against their rivals Wichita State.
Got a chance to look at that last pitch that struck out Chris O'Brien. Real good slider in on his hands a little bit, and most right-hand hitters like the ball out over the plate. He was able to shove that slider down in on his foot. From the left side, left-hand hitters like the ball down and in. You can't always get away from that. You know, right-handers throwing the ball down and into lefties, but he found a hole.
I'm going to give you a side view here to show this thing dropping. I'm not sure what O'Brien could have done with this pitch.
No, I almost tried to just fight it off. Looked like something that started out over the plate and then just swung right over the top of it. Quality pitch by Block.
Thornburg takes strike 2. Scott Thornburg leading off the 4th for Creighton with that 2-0 lead. Thornburg had an RBI single his first time up in that 2-run Creighton first. Lowell loses that one. The count is full of 3-2.
Once again, a Creighton Blue Jay fighting off a 3-2 pitch. It just takes Lowell deeper into the game.
Liner up the middle, slipping initially, was Hall, the center fielder, but able to recover as Thornburg lines the center to start the 4th. Let's take a look at the 2011 Valley All-Conference team. A presentation of Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. A lot of these guys in action tonight. Coy, of course, Wichita State. McNeely had a good year for Illinois State. Kickham, again, we mentioned the great closer this year for Missouri State. And Bemboom up now, the left fielder for Creighton. Reached on an error his first time up. Coy will make this play himself at first.
And Coy was able to take the play. Lowell didn't get off the mound. He sort of spun off the pitch a little bit and was a little late getting over. And if he had made the exchange to Lowell covering first base, I'm not sure they would have got him.
And here's Clay Kuno, who again before this tournament, his last hit was on April the 2nd. And has been large for Creighton. They needed somebody else with some pop in the lineup other than Trevor Adams, and Kuno has done that in this tournament with his 6 hits, 5 for extra bases.
Lowell sitting on 68 pitches right now with 2 outs in the top of the 4th.
He catches the outer part of the plate. So Lowell has been in command now since that first inning.
Just tries to extend the strike zone just a little bit there. O'Brien took him out on the edge, and Lowell really hit his spot, looking to see if he could get Kuno to chase.
Now the count full. See, O'Brien calls his own game, and a swing and a miss. Creighton goes quietly in the 4th as Lowell's got his 5th strikeout. Creighton leads 2-0. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Back at TD Ameritrade Stadium, the new home of the College World Series, the city of Omaha, Creighton University. A lot of boosters, and as a first pitch swing by Preston Springer. And the throw dug out at first base. Nice play by Judkins on the throw by the second baseman Staley. But let's talk about this ballpark now a little bit and what the city of Omaha has done. Look at this. All right, home of the Creighton Bluejays, College World Series, and the UFL football team, the Omaha Nighthawks. With 24,505 capacity, $131 million. And this has all the feel as a fly ball to left by Johnny Coy. So Wichita State swinging early in the count here in the 4th inning. But this ballpark has a major league feel to it. So 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, Omaha stepped up and said, we want the College World Series here. It belongs here. and they certainly made a statement by putting this thing here. It's unbelievable. I don't think you can really grasp on television. We've walked around this ballpark. We've seen it for 2 or 3 days, and you know, there's some key people. There's so many people that it took to get this done. And you think of former Mayor Mike Fahey, Dennis Pope, the vice president of the NCAA, was real instrumental in getting that 25-year extension. Bruce Rasmussen, the Creighton AD, was one of the 5 guys on the committee, very instrumental in getting this done. And it's something Omaha's got to be proud of. It's going to be a carnival here in a couple of weeks. I mean, the College World Series, people downtown last night talking about, you know, how exciting this game is. Creighton's in a final game. You've got the College World Series coming up in a couple of weeks, and it's just a great atmosphere and a beautiful ballpark, and people are going to be amazed when they get here because they loved Rosenblatt, and I love going there too, and got a chance to go there as a minor league coach, but this is something special.
And again, a big league park feel. It's like a Petco park in the dimensions of it and the way they built it, what they did in downtown San Diego. But I love the location because, you know, the Blatt was over on I-80, a little bit away from downtown. They've got their own little Wrigleyville version here going on. It's going to be great during the College World Series.
Great restaurants and bars near here. There's some beautiful places to hang out. The backdrop is amazing, like I talked about earlier with the Quest Center. You can see the downtown. A lot of excitement last night. A lot of things going on in the old market, and it's just it's a right place.
Chopper backing up is Swift, and the throw's in time. A heck of a play by the shortstop, Jimmy Swift, to throw out Don Lambert, and Wichita State goes in order in the 4th with 2 very good defensive plays for Creighton. 2-0 Blue Jays into 4.
The new era of Creighton University has begun.
We have the ability to excel,
the wisdom to innovate,
a commitment to values,
a willingness to serve,
with the faith to believe,
and to dream.
One of the finest Jesuit Catholic universities in the United States.
We are Creighton University, willing to lead.
SSM Cardinal Glennon Children's Medical Center in St. Louis is extremely grateful to the Missouri Valley Conference. Thanks to their support, we've created the Bob Costas Cancer Center. This world-class treatment facility is bringing results to research in a kid-friendly environment. Go to glennon.org to learn more about the incredible mission and life-saving work of Cardinal Glennon.
At Cardinal Glennon, our love for kids just keeps on growing.
For some, this is Wichita State University, but in reality, it's just one piece of the picture. Because behind the packed grandstands lies an institution that's a world leader in research. A school that spawns some of the biggest companies in the world. And a university whose urban setting creates experienced leaders in virtually every industry. Put it all together, and it's easy to see why Wichita State is a school worth rooting for.
Ed Service, Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year is Blue Jays. Flirting with a national ranking. There's a play by Jimmy Swift. Now this is Creighton baseball at its best. They are so good defensively. Swift's only made 10 errors all year. What about the play he made here? Wichita State trying to return the favor. This one is going to be a base hit, an infield hit to start the 5th inning for Creighton by Mike Gerber. But let's go back to Swift's play to end the 4th.
Well, he was able to read the hop, and he's comfortable enough with his arm strength. The ball drove him almost 2 steps in the outfield grass, and he still was able to right himself and come up and make a strong throw. That's comfortable. You know what your limitations are arm strength wise. He was able to read the deep hop, turn his body, and still make a strong throw.
It is the first Creighton hit since the 1st inning. And they got 2 runs, and now Chance Ross at the top of the order with nobody out allows Ed Service to start to push his buttons and look to bunt here. Again, Creighton always among the nation's leaders in sacrifices. A good bunt laid down. Coy has to cover. And Chance Ross with the sacrifice, and Gerber goes to second.
He's did a nice job, put the ball down the right spot. Coy's got to come up, field the ball barehanded. Chris O'Brien hustling down to third base to make sure that the runner can't advance to third base. But they've got a runner in scoring position. They've got their 2-3 hitters at the plate. An opportunity for Creighton to extend this 2-0 lead here in the top of the 5th.
Ed Service loves this team. He said they've really bought into the way they want to play. And honestly, Kirk, when you play these guys, it's like they just tap on you with the tack hammer all night. And they got one sledgehammer. Adams is the sledgehammer, but the rest of these guys just nick away and bite at you, nibble at you.
Well, they do, and they've got 15, 16 foul balls in this game, too. Something that people don't realize. They're fighting off pitches, trying to get something, get something to, once again, there's a foul ball, just fighting something off. Judkins at the plate, 10-pitch at bat by Judkins in his last at bat. So he's up there to get something he can put in play, but he's going to fight off anything on the edge.
Mentioned a big at-bat to beat Nebraska. He also had a big at-bat to beat Iowa. In fact, Creighton did a very good job this year in their big midweek games. And there's just a little looper into right field. It's going to be a base hit. They're going to hold up Gerber at third base. But a tremendous at-bat by Nick Judkins. It just backs up what you were saying.
Well, the mentality of just fighting pitches off. This is a breaking ball that actually beats him a little bit, but he's able to keep the bat through the strike zone a little bit and put it in play. He just fought it off and was able to, because it was an off-speed pitch, he was able to pull the ball, drops it in front of the right fielder, and Creighton's in a situation now, runners on first and third, the 3-4 hitters coming to the plate.
And Jimmy Swift also commands a good bat. And so with first and third, Ed Service has lots of options here with one out on the top of the fifth and a 2-0 lead.
Nice pick by O'Brien there. You get your 3-hole hitter up, drive the runner in from third base. That's your first priority. Trying to stay out of the double play and get Adams to the plate sometime in this inning is certainly important too. Not sure if he'll try to run him here. Quick leg kick by Lowell. It's difficult to run on him.
Good swing by Swift. Good jump on the play by Hall. They're going to try to score Gerber, and the throw to the plate is not in time. Now quick throw to second, and they're going to get Judkins at second base, but Creighton has got a 3-0 lead on a sacrifice fly by Jimmy Swift as the Blue Jays become very efficient again in the top of the fifth and a 3-run lead against Wichita State.
Snatching stuff, oh, what is going on in here?
It's okay, relax. Watch this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, Dave.
Wow.
Is that your agent?
It's the jingle. Try it.
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
With a sandwich.
Oh, yeah. And the girl from 4E? And can I get a hot tub?
Nice.
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
This aisle isn't big enough for 2 zeros.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Is that all you got?
P-E-P-S-I. I'm up to my knees in 0 calories. Pepsi to the max, so let's drink all of these. What you drinking on? Snoop! Pepsi Max. Too much taste to be called a zero.
SluCare Sports Medicine Services offer evaluation and treatment of all sports-related injuries. Whether you're a professional athlete, high school or college athlete, or an active individual of any age, we have on-site diagnosis, perform arthroscopic and reconstructive surgery, as well as provide comprehensive rehabilitation services to get you back in the game. To schedule an appointment at our Midtown or West County offices, call 314-977-4440 or visit www.sluhospital.com.
All right, let's take a look at the play that ended the top half of the fifth inning. The sac fly by Jimmy Swift.
Really what's important is back in right there where you see O'Brien not argue with the umpire. It's a bang-bang play, but he didn't react like a lot of catchers would, where he turns the umpire and says, I think I got him. He spun and came up and made a real strong throw to end the inning and kept it at a 1-run inning, and they're just 3 runs down.
I'm just not sure you're going to see many catchers have the presence of mind to do that.
Well,
I mean, most of them are involved in that play at the plate, and that's it.
You think about all the little things in baseball that can happen. We'll talk about it after this pitch. That's a tough play to tag up on him, too, because that's a sinking liner, and Hall's coming right at the play, so he's going to get the ball in the air quickly. So the runner did a great job of getting a jump at third base. Bang, bang play, excellent slide to get around the tag. So that's something else that's outstanding. And then all of a sudden, O'Brien has the presence to turn and throw a strike to second base and in the inning. So a lot of good baseball right there.
Love this kid's game. And again, probably the leading candidate for the Johnny Bench Award. The best catcher in the country, Swift. Again, bare hands are play. The second big-time play in as many innings by Jimmy Swift, the Creighton shortstop.
When you look to evaluate players, there are certain things that they have to have the ability to do. He's shown that he can go deep in the outfield grass, come up and make a strong throw, and in there, Block knocks the ball down, so it's almost like a changeup coming at him. The ball starts to slow down. He's able to get his body in position, barehand the ball, and still put a lot on it, and that's just an outstanding play coming in on the ball to get the runner at first base.
No Wichita State leadoff hitter has been able to reach tonight, and to me, that was probably the biggest item of the game. To see if the Shockers can't get somebody on to start the inning, and see if they can't do that. In the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, and now Micah Green, who going to struggle throughout this entire tournament, is down 0-2 to Ty Block, who's been very effective for Wichita State. Green looking for his first hit of the tournament, although he had a good swing back in the 2nd inning and lined one to Bemba in left field. I'm curious to watch Green's progress, as there you see TJ McGreevy in the Wichita State bullpen. Spanked towards the third baseman Ross. The long throw there. 2 groundouts to start the 5th for Wichita State when Niles Media Group takes its television cameras on the road in the Valley. It considers these hotel properties home away from home. Please call these hotels or visit the websites of these properties when following your favorite team away from home. They've been great for us throughout basketball and throughout baseball. 2 outs. Here's the 9th place hitter, Walker Davidson. Wasted foul right field side. That service last night. Now we've seen outstanding defensive plays by Creighton in 2 innings in a row. He talked about recruiting athletes and making them baseball players. It's something that Gene Stevenson has done for years. But the plays Jimmy Swift has made in particular are athletic plays.
Well, they are. They're real good athletes up the middle. And you watch these infielders. They play deep, almost 2 steps in the outfield grass. Their positioning is excellent. And what's important is, you know, you watch, if they're able to play deep, if they've got enough arm strength, you think how many more balls, it's tougher to get through that infield. But they're confident. They play deep. As you can see, your 2 middle infielders out in the outfield grass. Third baseman deep and off the line.
And Davidson strikes out. And Wichita State goes in order for the 2nd consecutive inning at the end of 5. Creighton has a 3-0 lead in the Valley Championship game. Valley Championship brought to you by State Farm here in Omaha at this beautiful new ballpark. Let's take a look at our list of tournament champions brought to you by State Farm. The agents are there when you need them from State Farm. Find an agent, get a quote at statefarm.com. Wichita State has won this tournament 17 times, Creighton only once. That was back in 2007 at Hammons Field in Springfield. Although this is the 9th appearance for Creighton in the Valley title game. They lost 5 times to Wichita State in this game, but all 5 of those games were in Wichita. First time these two teams, of course, have met in Omaha in this championship game. When I ask you about the ballpark again, in the expanse of the ballpark, particularly the room that you've got in foul territory here, much like a big league park.
Well, it is, and what you mean, so many times when these new ballparks are built, you'll see them bring the fans a little bit closer to the field, and it takes away the foul territory. But you can see there's a lot of room here, very similar to the Oakland Coliseum where the A's play. But it's really something that just adds to ways to get people out. You know, real tight fields, and you fight them off, there's never a foul out. There's never anything that takes the first baseman or third baseman near the line. And I think it was in the Creighton Southern Illinois game, 4 or 5 outs in Greg Hellick's complete game were foul balls, and that's 1 or 2 innings right there that maybe will go in the stands in a lot of other ballparks.
But the Oakland Alameda Coliseum is the ugly stepsister. This is Cinderella. Okay, they're both females, but they look a lot different.
Well, that is a bad ballpark. You're exactly right. It's bad. It's bad during the day. It's bad at night. It's bad when they're on the road. It's just a bad ballpark.
3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And they ain't going to build a new one anytime soon. Trevor Adams, a weak ground out to Charlie Lowell. That won't happen very often. And here's Alex Staley with 1 out and nobody on. Creighton leading 3-0. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Lowell throws a strike to even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Staley has lifted it twice. He lined to right field in the first and flew out in the third. They've had some great crowds in this ballpark. Swing and a miss. And Staley's gone. And Lowell's got his 6th strikeout. Creighton has averaged, since that they put this ballpark into play, 16 home dates, they've averaged 7,191. If they can continue that in future years, they're going to be one of the nation's leaders in attendance here. And Omaha is a great baseball city. Of course, hosted the College World Series since 1950, and they're going to do it for 25 more years. But there's good youth baseball here, good high school baseball here. It's a good baseball town. Grounder right at Parker at third. And Charlie Lowell disposes of Creighton with little problems in the 6th. 3-0. Creighton mid-6.
It comes from all of us.
We're Prairie Farms, and we don't just work for the dairy, we are the dairy, making sure the dairy products in your child's school, in your stores, and on your table are fresh and healthy, handled with the kind of care that your family deserves.
We are Prairie Farms Dairy.
Ask for us, the farmer-owned dairy.
Casey's, it's all good. Much more to choose from.
Quench your thirst for summertime fun at Casey's General Stores. Buy 2 32-ounce Powerades and get 1 free. Tame your hunger with one of our homemade to-go large taco pizzas for only $11.99. And stop into any Casey's and register to win free gas for a year, along with other great giveaways.
It's all good in the summertime. Casey's General Store.
Creighton leading 3-0, trying to get a Valley regular season title. They won in the last game of the year in the regular season, beating Missouri State. This fabulous ballpark. And really, not only for Creighton, but for the Missouri Valley Conference to have this ballpark within its possession, so to speak, is giant for this league. Tyler Grimes, the leadoff hitter, walked on a 4-pitch walk his last time up, struck out looking in the first inning. Mike West Creighton's marketing director has also done a great job. He's worked very hard to get the city involved with this ballpark and involved with Creighton baseball. Again, seating about 25,000. Grimes fouls it off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Grimes had a career high 4 hits against Creighton on May the 6th. Looking for his first hit tonight. And again, only 3 hits in the tournament, but he's walked 7 times. He's also been hit by a pitch for a school record. He has the school record being hit by pitch. Casey Blake had that record. Of course, Casey's still playing for the Dodgers, and this is an extra base hit up the left field line. As Grimes turns on a tie block pitch for a double. Only the 3rd hit of the night for Wichita State. And the first extra base hit of the night for WSU.
He got a ball in on his hands a little bit. He's kind of a free swinger for a leadoff guy anyway, but he got something he could pull. He was able to keep it fair. And once again, we got a situation we talked about in the open. You know, their leadoff man Grimes is on. They got to try to push a run across and get on the board somehow. Hall looking to go to right field just a little bit there, but he's also got a lot of room to shoot the ball with the second baseman holding Grimes on. There's a lot of room to hit the ball to the right side.
Yeah, Staley, the second baseman. Excellent pitch from Block to get ahead of Kevin Hall. The second baseman there.
As you see the space, they're guarding the line a little bit to the right side, but there's a lot of room to that right side. Hall wants to hit the ball that way anyway to try to move the runner up, but he's also got a chance to shoot one into right field for a base hit.
Little waste pitch on the 0-2 as Thornburg sets up outside. Hall has struck out twice. Struck out swinging in the 1st and 3rd. This is the first time he has faced Ty Block, however. Dufek had both of those other strikeouts. Bottom of 6. 3-0 Creighton. That one's up, 2-2.
Hall choking up with 2 strikes right here. He's just got to find a way to put this in play. It needs to be a productive out. Even if he doesn't get hit, it's got to be a productive out to get Grimes to 3rd base.
That misses inside. And this pitch coming up is a pitch missing inside here from Block. You got a big pitch right here, Kirk. And blows it by him. Hall has struck out 3 times tonight.
They've been staying off speed early in the count. That time he just went and got a fastball. He didn't want to put him on, so he challenged him with a fastball and beat Hall with a fastball a little bit middle away, and Grimes is unable to move up on the strikeout.
Chris O'Brien singled in the 1st, struck out on an excellent slider from Block. He was the first hitter to face Block back in the 3rd. Goes right after him on that first delivery.
Challenges him with a fastball with a 3-run lead. Even though there's a base open, you're going to go after O'Brien right here. He's going to try to get back to that wrap slider. I'm sure somewhere in this at bat we'll see if O'Brien's able to make an adjustment. One of the things Gene talks about, Chris O'Brien, is he has the ability to make adjustments during the ball game. Good swing there.
Just missed that one and fouls it back. Again, O'Brien had single in the 1st inning, extending to a 29-game hitting streak as Reese McGraw warming up in the busy Creighton bullpen. It's been busy all week. It's the best hitting streak, though, for Wichita State since Andy Dirks had a 30-game streak in 2008. And they have struck out Chris O'Brien on 2 consecutive at-bats. And it's up to Preston Springer to keep the inning alive for Wichita State.
Rob Smith, the associate head coach, also the pitching coach for Creighton, calls the pitches for there. He was able to get O'Brien out on a wrap slider last time. O'Brien probably trying to protect, thinking in the back of his mind he's got that pitch. They rode a fastball up 0-2 maybe to set up the wrap slider, but he was able to elevate it just enough that O'Brien couldn't lay off. So they've struck him out 2 different ways, and that sits in his mind a little bit. Excellent job by both the pitching coach calling the game and Block executing the plan.
Again, Creighton starting their ace tonight, Jonas Dufek. He went 2 2/3. They're just trying to relay race their way to a championship on the pitching mound. Ty Block, the Saturday starter for Creighton during the Valley portion of the schedule. 1-1 by Springer, fouled away. It's a 1-2 count.
Wichita State 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Could be very disappointing if Grimes hits a leadoff double here with his foot speed. The middle lineup up, and they can't able to, they're unable to push run across. Springer's got to find a way here to put something in play and put some pressure on Creighton.
He's had 7 hits against Creighton this year, 6 during the regular season.
Thornburg looks in to get what pitch they're going to throw here. They've got a couple different options to go. He has that slider we talked about earlier, but likes to bust the fastball deep in the count as he does there.
Springer sprays that one near the Wichita State dugout. It flies into the rows behind WSU's third base dugout. These Creighton pitchers have competed tonight. They want to win this game. These seniors want to win this game. Creighton thought they had it. Now they appeal to the third base umpire, Brett.
Yeah, back-to-back fastballs. Again, he fouled the other one off, and he came high and tight with that fastball. Was in off the plate, not a strike, and he was able to hold back on the check swing.
Thornburg tried to frame it. Another big pitch.
Same spot.
Ball 4. First walk from Ty Block.
The wind not really a factor right now, but it does bring up Johnny Coy, who's capable of reaching that left field bullpen. Most of his power is going to be down the line. If he gets something in on his hands, he could tie this ball game up. We talked about Rob Smith, the pitching coach. He's going to make a trip to the mound right here. Block has done an excellent job. McGraw's ready in the bullpen, but it doesn't look like the fact that Ed didn't come out, they're going to stay with him.
Well, you know what Creighton's thinking. Ed would love to sneak through and get to the 7th inning and get one more out here, but Johnny Coy, you mentioned, with 7 home runs this season.
As thin as Creighton's pitching is coming into this game, if you would have said, hey, you got a chance to get through 6 innings with just 2 pitchers, I think they'd have been very pleased. What they've got going in at the end of the ball game is a lot of 1-1-1 type stuff, so I think they'll be very pleased if they can somehow get through this inning.
They've thrown 11 different pitchers this week, and they started play on Wednesday morning because of weather. They threw 7 pitchers in one game. They threw 6 in another. They start their number 1 and number 2 starters in this game, or go with number 1 and number 2. And Block is just trying to get rid of Johnny Coy. Coy would love to tie the game on one swing of the bat. He challenges him on the first pitch again.
They challenged him there, but they also came up in the zone. That's something Coy hasn't been able to lay off of very much. Only 6 home runs in this tournament. Johnny Coy has 1 of them. Certainly capable of reaching the seats.
Yeah, 6 total by everybody. And he's had home run swings on the last 2. He wants to tie the game.
It's twice they've elevated the fastball, and he's been unable to get on top of it.
Now what does he do with him?
I think you keep climbing the ladder. I'll be anxious to see how they go.
3-0 Creighton. Bottom of the 6th.
I think they're going back in. That's Elam warming up in the Wichita State bullpen.
It's their closer.
Brent said they weren't afraid to get to him in the 7th inning. He's a guy that's a multiple inning guy. Even though he's a back-end guy, he's certainly capable of giving him 3 innings if needed.
Coy went to Benton High School in St. Joe, not far from Omaha. They try to work him inside.
A little cut fastball right there. Maybe not by design, but they try to get in on his hands a little bit. A pitch that Coy's going to have a tough time keeping fair if they stay in on him. They're wanting to crowd him with the hard stuff.
See if the All-Valley first baseman can do something here for Wichita State. Shockers need to win this game to get to the NCAA tournament.
That was a slider just upstairs. But they keep going in on his hands.
Coy is just hoping they make a mistake here. Block competing, would be the number 2 starter for Creighton. in their regional assignment, either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 2-2 pitch, and down goes Cole. Creighton strikes out the side, but they also had a double to start the inning. They leave him there. The Shockers lead 2, and Creighton has a 3-0 lead going to the 7th.
Hello, I'm Rick Navarre, president of St. Louis-based Peabody Energy. Peabody is the world's largest coal company. Coal is vital to America. It provides half the electricity in the United States. Peabody fuels electricity needs in 21 countries on 6 continents. And we are a global leader in clean coal solutions, providing affordable energy security and made in America economic stimulus. I invite you to visit us at peabodyenergy.com.
Your dog's one of a kind, and now you have the power to help significantly extend his healthy years. A groundbreaking 14-year study by Purina proves that puppy chow, then dog chow nutrition, fed properly over a lifetime, can help extend his lovable antics up to 1.8 healthy years. Long live your buddy.
Oh, Max.
Long live your dog. Purina Puppy Chow and Purina Dog Chow.
If you want your next trip to Omaha, Nebraska to be something extraordinary, stay at the official hotel of the Missouri Valley Conference, the Holiday Inn downtown Omaha. It features spacious rooms, microwaves, mini refrigerators, 24-hour fitness center, indoor water park, on-site sports bar, and Scooter's Coffee House. Located next to TD Ameritrade Park and minutes from the airport, Quest Center, Creighton University, and shopping and dining in the historic Old Market. Holiday Inn downtown Omaha, the official hotel of the MVC.
Excellent game in our State Farm Valley Championship at TD Ameritrade Park in Omaha. 3-0 Creighton as we go to the 7th inning. Time now for our tonight's date in Valley history, brought to you by Lumiere Place. On this date in 2005. Get to it here in a second as Charlie Lowell stays on the mound for Wichita State to start the 7th. There we go. Wichita State pounded out 15 hits in 05 as the Shockers defeated Creighton for the tournament crown. That was in Wichita. Make Lumiere Place Casino and Hotels your gaming, dinner, and entertainment hotspot. Lumiere Place offers the latest slots and table games. 6 incredible restaurants. Any dish your heart desires, located just steps from the arch. Awesome. Lumiere Place Casino and Hotels, the pulse of St. Louis. Good swing by Anthony Bendum and a leadoff single for Creighton in the 7th.
That is a real good at bat. It stayed in on the left-hander Lowell, and it was just a fastball, and he stayed right through it and was able to pull the ball into right field. Creighton's going to try to play for run. This situation where you're just going to try to tack on runs becomes your bullpen a little bit too. Here comes Gene Stevenson. Looks like they're going to make a pitching change. Elam is ready in the bullpen for Wichita State.
Gene Stevenson out to talk to Charlie Lowell. Brent Chemnitz, 96 pitches have been thrown by Lowell. Down 3-0. And it is a pitching change. Gene Stevenson's going to bring in the closer for the Shockers. His right-hander Cale Elam coming in. We'll have that. It's this call to the bullpen brought to you by Casey's General Stores, convenience stores, and a whole lot more.
The administrators, educators, coaches, and fans of the Missouri Valley Conference expect nothing but the best from their teams. And the Valley student athletes take pride in exceeding that expectation. On the field, on the court, on the track, and in the classroom. Celebrating academic and athletic excellence for more than 100 years. This is the Missouri Valley Conference.
Charlie Lowell, the left-hander, the junior from Old Monroe, Missouri, played at Winfield High School in the eastern part of the Show Me State. He's going to get some look from the scouts. He fought tonight, but you just got to give credit, Kirk, to Creighton. They had some excellent at-bats against him. He didn't make many mistakes.
No, he didn't. And the first inning was a little shaky underneath some pitches, but he settled in and really drove his fastball down. And good-looking prospect's going to get a chance to play well beyond college baseball. I don't think there's any question of that, but he took him in a situation where they've gotten past maybe McGreevy if they get into an extra inning game or whatever, but Elam went 2 2/3 earlier in this tournament. He's back on the mound now. They're going to ask him to go 3 because they're going to look to try to come back and win this game. But he's certainly capable of getting them through the 7th and 8th and into the 9th if need be.
He's an interesting story. Just a freshman, but with 5 saves this season and a 1.32 ERA. You can see that. With 31 strikeouts, 18 walks. He's from a little tiny town in Oklahoma near Muskogee, Otaha, Oklahoma. His daddy was his high school coach. Population 327. He had 40 students in his graduating class. But this is the kind of guy Gene Stevenson and Brent Chemnitz can build into an outstanding pitcher. Over the last 3 decades, Gene and Brent have worked together, but this is the kind of kid that you'll see 2 years from now that could be one of the nation's best pitchers.
Well, Brent said last night when I had a chance to talk to him during the Creighton Missouri State game that his makeup has into the game.
And they try to sacrifice with the pinch hitter. And Elam makes an athletic play there and goes to get the lead runner.
You know what's impressive, right? You got a freshman coming off the mound right there that made up his mind he was going to go to second base. Watch him come on. He never hesitated. He comes off, sets the back foot, makes a strong, accurate throw to get the lead runner. Take Creighton out of their game a little bit. Doesn't allow a runner in scoring position. Now he's 1 pitch away from being out of the inning.
And Joey Bowens was pinch hitting for Clay Cuno to try to bunt Anthony Bemboom to second.
Elam's going to be 89-90 around the plate a lot. Curveball and slider both. He does have a little serviceable change that he'll use to left-hand hitters, and he's not afraid to throw it late in the count.
Bowens has excellent speed at first base for the Blue Jays. In fact, he has stolen 5 bases in just 6 attempts. Gerber's had a good night. He did strike out on the second, but he was working Charlie Lowell even on that at bat, and then he had a single and scored a run in the 5th. Creighton leading 3-0. Thornburg bazookas that one up the left field line. But a 0-2 count here. Gerber at the plate again, 1 of 2. Hitting Gerber in the 9 hole. He's a .280 hitter and still 6 home runs. But again, Kirk, another guy that'll give you a good at bat.
Fought off the 0-2 pitch. Elam expanded the strike zone with a fastball. Now to a 1-2 count.
Great pitch by Elam. Freezes Mike Gerber.
Good sinking fastball, bottom of the zone. Like a 2-seam fastball. Just froze him, looking for something else.
So the inning is now up to Chance Ross. And Creighton in danger of wasting a leadoff single. Ross 0 for 2 with a sacrifice.
Ross got some big hits earlier in the tournament in that 9 hole.
Fly to center again. Hall initially fooled but recovers. And Creighton does indeed waste the leadoff single in the 7th. They will take a 3-0 lead to the bottom of 7. Creighton leading Wichita State in the Valley Championship game. 3-0 Creighton, headed to the bottom of the 7th inning. And Ty Block stays on the mound for Creighton. The left-hander came in for Jonas Dufek. As Lambert up now for Wichita State, 0 for 2 after just blistering everybody in the tournament. Came in 8 for 15 with 2 3-hit games. The Baylor transfer. That is St. Louis, Missouri. Block works ahead of him. Block, you see he's throwing 3 to third, and he catches Lambert looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ty Block, and 5 in the game. Dufek had 5, Block had 5. And they're going to make a pitching change. So our call of the game. Tonight's call of the game presented by Emerson, the global technology and engineering company. Learn more, visit emerson.com. Emerson, consider it solved. It's a call of the game, Kirk. If you strike out Chris O'Brien twice.
And they did it 2 different ways. Once they were able to get him in a wrap slider down and in, and then the next time out they climbed the ladder on him and beat him with a fastball up. But nice job by Block right there. He's able to handle the left-hander with an off-speed pitch, and now they're going to make the pitching change to McGraw.
Call to the bullpen brought to you by Casey's. Mitch Holter's back along with Kirk Champion, the Chicago White Sox minor league pitching coordinator. And so far tonight we've seen some excellent pitching, really from both sides, as Creighton leading Wichita State 3-0 in the bottom of the 7th. The relay race on the mound will continue for Creighton, as again Jonas Dufek and Ty Block, their 1 and 2 starters, have thrown tonight. They want to keep them fresh for the NCAA regional coming up this weekend. But here's Reese McGraw. But Block, his totals and his performance.
3 2/3 with 1 hit, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, just 56 pitches, takes him into the 7th inning. And between he and Dufek, they give him 6 1/3, and they go to Reese McGraw right here. And the sidearm right-hander power sinker works from the first base side of the mound, and just see how long he could take him into the ball game. 3-0 lead for Creighton. Wichita State batting with 1 out in the 7th. Good fastball in the outside corner there.
Dane Parker, the freshman, third baseman, up for Wichita State. And chops one towards the third baseman. Ross with an easy play. Parker out 5-3 for the 2nd out of the inning. I was talking to Ed Service last night about his bullpen. Their bullpen this year is 19-5, and since May 1st, the bullpen for Creighton is 6-0, Kirk, with 9 saves. But he said what he likes about them, I got different guys that do different things. I got lefties, I got righties. I got this guy that can drop down. We come from all different slots. He goes, you want your bullpen to do different things.
Well, you build a bullpen that way. We've got different options for different scenarios. In this case, he wants to attack the strike zone. He's looking for contact. Sidearm guy, you watch him. He sets up on the first base side. Kind of a little bit of a fold. Comes from down under. Actually right around his belt. Could throw the breaking ball. Once again, he spins the breaking ball in the outer half. And what you have to watch sometimes, and your third baseman's the first ground ball to third off that fastball, but a lot of times you'll see right-hand hitters roll over and top the ball, and third baseman gets real busy. Good breaking ball there again. Third baseman can get very busy because the sinker runs in on their hands, and right-hand hitters get tied up and ground up to third a lot.
Green still looking for his first hit of the tournament. McGraw's been a little up and down in the tournament. Now he doesn't want to lose Micah Green here. The 243 hitter. McGraw gave up 3 earned runs in only a third of an inning Wednesday evening against Missouri State, but he came back against the Bears, went 1.2 with a good performance, comes back with a strike there, and then came with an inning and 2/3 Friday last night against Missouri State. He would like to get green. It means the 9-hole would lead off the 8th. Got him looking. Wichita State 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. And the Creighton bullpen continues to do everything right tonight. This time it's Reese McGraw to get rid of Micah Green.
Bro, where's your car?
It's okay. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, hey, Jake.
My car got jacked.
I got it.
Ladies, guess you're walking.
You got those figures for me yet?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there with an intern. Nice work. Casual Wednesdays! Whoa! What?
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
SSM Cardinal Glennon Children's Medical Center in St. Louis is extremely grateful to the Missouri Valley Conference. Thanks to their support, we've created the Bob Costas Cancer Center. This world-class treatment facility is bringing results to research in a kid-friendly environment. Go to glennon.org to learn more about the incredible mission and life-saving work of Cardinal Glennon.
At Cardinal Glennon, our love for kids just keeps on growing.
The online store at NBC-sports.com is the #1 stop to get Missouri Valley Conference merchandise. With thousands of items, you'll find all the NBC gear you need in one place. You'll find the best selection, great customer service, and fast 3-day shipping for only $4.99. You'll also get an easy and enjoyable experience designed to help you find exactly what you're looking for. So if you want the best place to get Missouri Valley Conference gear, head to the online store at NBC-sports.com.
Joe Mitch. A shout out to Joe Mitch, the baseball tournament director and associate commissioner of the Missouri Valley Conference since 1986. 26 years in the Valley. Kirk, you've known him for a long time.
I have known him for a long time, and I was in that 1986 MVC tournament. I was coaching at Southern Illinois, and Joe remembers it too. It was a lot of rain, and we were able to get through it. Indiana State ended up winning that tournament in 1986 and going on to the College World Series.
You didn't ever complain to Joe, did you? Because that's a cauliflower ear he's got from having coaches nibble on it for 26 years about rain and formats.
Exactly.
How many games?
I love it. I love it. Joe's done an excellent job, and he's been in the league a long time, and a real baseball fan, along with having to run these tournaments. And it's difficult with the weather and so many things that are involved, but he does listen to the coaches. He really does. He listens to everybody, and he tries to build it for them and the programs more than just staying with the cookie-cutter format.
I don't think Gene Stevenson's given many opinions in those 26 years.
Each morning. Yes.
Elam's doing a good job here for Wichita State to try to keep him in the game. And the third baseman, Parker, makes a play, so 2 outs quickly in the inning. A ground out to the shortstop and the third baseman. 3-0 Creighton here in the top of the 8th. Well, the latest news on the State Farm Valley Baseball Championship and other spring sports. Listen, the Valley's done a great job of updating their website. It's one of the best in the country for any conference. Go to NBCSports.com. They've worked very hard at updating it. It's been fabulous during the tournament, actually, at their Tournament Central link and what they've been able to do. So 2 outs and Trevor Adams. Shockers have done a decent job with Adams. He did have an RBI single in the first. He walked in the third. They got him to ground out weakly his last time up. And Adams has been a horse. Top 5 in several different categories for all-time Creighton records. Grimes handles his second play of the inning. Creighton is quickly gone in the top half of the 8th. 3-0 Blue Jays. Wichita State will try to get something going with the bottom of the order.
Hey, I've got an idea. When replacing home appliances or electronics, look for the Energy Star label. It means high efficiency products and lower energy bills too. Little label, big savings.
0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Tommy, T-H-O.
Cece, glad you made it.
Ricky wins again.
Oh, what is this place?
Iowa. Only with maximum Pepsi taste and 0 calories.
Whoa.
I love it when he does that.
Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
Where can you get the best milk? From Tom, from Russ, from Laura, and Maggie.
It comes from all of us.
We're Prairie Farms, and we don't just work for the dairy, we are the dairy, making sure the dairy products in your child's school, in your stores, and on your table are fresh and healthy, handled with the kind of care that your family deserves.
We are Prairie Farms Dairy.
Ask for us, the farmer-owned dairy.
Hey, I've got an idea. Shed the right light on the subject. CFLs come in different hues, cool ones for reading or warm ones for relaxing. There are energy-saving CFLs for just about every use. Now that's a happy ending.
Back in Omaha, this great ballpark, TD Ameritrade Park, home of the College World Series. Creighton leading 3-0 in the bottom of the 8th. It's Wichita State with 2 at-bats left. And tonight's crowd announced at 6,939. It is the second largest in Valley Tournament history. The previous high, 1991, as the pinch hitter for Wichita State gets a base hit. It's going to roll all the way to the wall as Halbert has a chance for a triple. He'll hold up at second base, however, to play it safe. A leadoff double by the pinch hitter, Josh Halbert. Gives Wichita State a shot here in the 8th inning into the top of the order. And Tyler Grimes, as Ed Service grimaces for the first time tonight. The 1991 was big. That was the year both Wichita State and Creighton made it to the College World Series here in Omaha. That Jim Hendry was the coach of that team, now the GM of the Chicago Cubs. Scott Stahoviak, Alan Bennis, Chad McConnell. The Shockers got all the way to the finals that year, just 2 years after they won the College World Series championship in beating Texas.
Looks like Jack Van Loer warming up in the Creighton bullpen. Rob Smith's going to make a trip to the mound. One can give him a chance to get ready. I'm not sure if they're going to, if they get to O'Brien, are they going to want to turn him around and hit right-handed again? And that may be their thought. They'll make sure he's ready. The 2 right-handers in Grimes and Hall coming up.
We'll give Gene Stevenson credit. One, to go with the left-handed hitter Halbert, who has struggled this year, but he got, with this righty, the way he drops down, McGraw, the left-hander's got much more of a chance to see it.
Certainly gets a better look. The left-handers do. Anybody, you see these guys that drop down in the big leagues or whatever, but they're more situational righties, and they are tougher on right-hand hitters. But the lefty does get a little bit longer look. Got a fastball in, was able to turn on it, shoot it in the right center field gap.
Grimes doubled his last time up. He's reached the last 2 times. And now he's ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Wichita State shut down by Dufek and Block. Trying to get something going here in the 8th.
Grimes working the count right here, just looking to get on base. His job is to get on somehow. 3-0, he's going to look at one here. Sets up at the open stance. It's going to take a couple pitches before he swings.
And walks on 4 pitches, and the tying run is coming to the plate. Thought here that McGraw's down to his last hitter trying to get Hall, who has struck out 3 consecutive times, and with nobody out, and with the meet coming up with O'Brien, Springer, Coy, Lambert. See what he does with Kevin Hall right here. He's going to bunt. Great bunt up the third base side. Well played actually by the third baseman Ross. Judkins again doing a nice job at first base, but Kevin Hall does his job, Kirk, as he moves the runners up with a sack. And here comes the left-hander, the veteran coming in for Creighton. But Wichita State making some noise in this call to the bullpen in the 8th inning, brought to you by Casey's General Stores, convenience stores, and a whole lot more.
The online store at NBC-sports.com is the #1 stop to get Missouri Valley Conference merchandise. With thousands of items, you'll find all the NBC gear you need in one place. You'll find the best selection, great customer service, and fast 3-day shipping for only $4.99. You'll also get an easy and enjoyable experience designed to help you find exactly what you're looking for. So if you want the best place to get Missouri Valley Conference gear, head to the online store at NBC-sports.com.
3-0 Creighton, but Wichita State is. The Blue Jays take Reese McGraw to the game, and they're going to bring in Jack Van Leur. 11 different pitchers have thrown in this tournament for Creighton. Van Leur is the veteran. And let's take a look, Kirk, at the guys and what they've had to do all week long.
It's just been a busy bullpen. They've got a plan. They know they're going to bring guys in. They're not afraid to throw them 1 inning at a time. They get the matchups. It's not any one person. They're not afraid to bring them in any situation. They've got ground ball guys. They've got strikeout guys, guys that can hold runners, guys that can feel their position, and a lot of depth in the bullpen. Rob Smith talked about it. He said, we have a plan that we're going to build a bullpen. We're going to build from the back end of the game and work forward. And what that does is allows your starters to come out of the game in a positive mode. You don't have to extend your starters because you're comfortable with what's going to go on in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Van Leur's got a couple of saves, not overpowering, 22 strikeouts in 41 2/3 innings, but so far it's worked out.
Van Leur, this is his 113th appearance. He leads the nation among active players in his career. It is the 4th most in Valley history. Van Leur's seen a little bit of everything, Kirk.
Yes, he has. And O'Brien comes to the plate right here. They faced each other in 11 just one time. O'Brien was 1 for 1, 1 for 2 back in 2009. He's looking to drive in the run and get to second base himself.
And he can tie the game with 1 swing of the bat. He's got 10 home runs this season. The Valley Player of the Year swings and misses at Van Leur's first delivery. The Johnny Bench Award is handed out in Wichita every summer. It's a great event. This kid might be the leading candidate to be the catcher of the year in the nation. With first base open, you don't want to have the go-ahead run coming to the plate. You lead 3-0.
Yeah, you got to go after O'Brien here. He's looking for his 70th RBI of the year.
Van Leur catches the outside corner.
Once again, a couple different ways to go. They've got him out of the wrap slider. They've got him out of the fastball up. We'll see what Rob Smith chooses to do here.
Albert's at third. Grimes is at second. Wichita State down 3 in the bottom of the 8th. Tapper just over Van Leur. It's going to be a tough play for Swift. The throw to first is in time. It will score the run. So an RBI ground out for Chris O'Brien, and again Swift's athletic ability able to make the play defensively for Creighton.
Little chopper over the mound. Smith comes in, makes sure that he gets himself set when he catches the baseball. Squares his feet up, able to make a good strong throw. O'Brien, good runner, but not a great runner. But he knew he had time. He knew as deep as he plays defensively at short, when he makes contact with the baseball, he's usually in a pretty good position to make a throw.
A lot of guys will rush that play.
You'll see guys just try to continue that on the move and have to throw off the wrong foot. He didn't do that. He knew his runner. He knew the situation. He knew he just needed the out. He wasn't trying to make something happen that wasn't there. Just good awareness out there. I've really enjoyed watching him play this whole week. He does a good job. He positions himself very well defensively.
Senior out of West Des Moines, Iowa. It's a good senior class for Ed Service. They want to get a trophy tonight. They add to their regular season trophy. Springer needs to help Wichita State here. He did have a single in the first. He walked in the 6th. 2 outs and a runner at third. 3-1 Creighton.
Wichita still looking for that first hit with runners in scoring position. 0 for 6 tonight. Chance to cut this to a 1-run lead.
Chop foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Van Leur's been busy throughout his whole career. I mentioned 113 appearances, but in this tournament he's appeared 3 times. This is the 4th time he's appeared since Wednesday. 2/3 of an outing against Missouri State Wednesday night. 2 full innings against the Bears on Thursday night, and then last night threw an inning against Keith Gutton's team. 2-2 tied him up, but fought off by Springer.
Van Leur looks like a left-hander, not overpowering. They can get the ball to both sides of the plate. It makes it difficult to protect. Infield very deep. It's going to be tough to shoot one through.
Counts full.
Saw a shot of Spomer getting ready down there in the bullpen. He's certainly available for an inning tonight, too.
These are closers. He could close. That's why this is a big at-bat here. And
Again, gets a fastball in on his hands. He fights it off, but couldn't do anything with it. If he hits that pitch, he can't keep it fair. You know what I mean? If it's in on his hands like that, he just pulls the ball foul. Spomer looks like he's getting ready to maybe face Coy if he comes up in this inning.
3-2. Chop towards the first baseman, Judkins. Flips to Van Leur. Shockers get one, but they're down 2 going to the 9th. The Creighton bullpen continues to show up. They've done it all week long. Can they do it? One more inning.
SluCare Sports Medicine at St. Louis University Hospital has a tip for your weekend races. Pay attention to your feet. When preparing for exercise, never wear new shoes on race day. Dress appropriately for the weather. Running affects your back, muscles, legs, neck, and feet. If you receive an injury during work or play, contact our comprehensive rehabilitation services to get you back in the game. To schedule an appointment at our Midtown or West County offices, call 314-977-4440 or visit sluhospital.com.
Your dog's one of a kind. And now, you have the power to help significantly extend his healthy years. A groundbreaking 14-year study by Purina proves that puppy chow, then dog chow nutrition, fed properly over a lifetime, can help extend his lovable antics up to 1.8 healthy years. Long live your buddy.
Oh, Max.
Long live your dog. Purina Puppy Chow and Purina Dog Chow.
Mitch Holtz is back along with Kirk Champion. It's the State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Baseball Championship. A lot of drama here. Creighton has never won the regular season title and Valley tournament title in the same season. The opportunity now as we go to the 9th inning. And a leadoff first pitch swing and a ground out to third base. Alex Staley to lead off the 9th inning for Creighton. Plus, it is worth noting, Wichita State is in danger of not making the NCAA tournament for the 2nd consecutive year. That has not happened since the first 2 years that Gene Stevenson was head coach at Wichita State in 1978 and 79. And keep in mind, Gene started the program back. Wichita State shut down from 71 through 77. And of course, they've been one of the nation's best programs ever since Gene took over. But Wichita State facing an uphill climb to try to get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Thornburg's done a good job in this tournament. Again, the rookie Parker able to cut the angle off and another ground out. That is 5 straight ground outs now by the Creighton Bluejays.
Brent had nothing but good things to say yesterday. Brent Chemnitz, the longtime pitching coach for Wichita State, about this Elam. But what a presence on the mound for a freshman. I mean, he's been a late inning guy, but he just power sinker. He's got a low 3/4 slot, and very impressed with his poise in a ball game like this. So many freshmen you see in this venue with this crowd. Certainly the Creighton crowd starting to get loud, sensing the victory. But he's impressive. He's going to be a guy down the road that people are going to have a lot of interest in.
Hey, Creighton's done nothing with this guy. There's a swing by Benboom. That's the first time they've been able to get the ball to the outfield against Elam. Well, can Wichita State rally in the bottom of the 9th? We'll find out. Can Creighton hold off the Shockers? Tonight's State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Baseball Championship is brought to you by State Farm. State Farm agents are there when you need them. Find an agent or get a quote at statefarm.com. By Ameren, a proud supporter of the Missouri Valley Conference and the communities it serves. By Cardinal Glennon Children's Medical Center, where love for kids just keeps on growing. And by Coventry Healthcare, dependable health coverage for groups and individuals. Mitch Holt is back along with Kirk Champion, the White Sox minor league pitching coordinator tonight. And this is Kirk Spomer. One of the top closers in the Midwest is Johnny Coy. Flirts with an extra base hit up the line, just foul, wide of third. Spomer, 6'2", 200. Look at the numbers. 3-3, but 12 saves. In fact, he's looking for his third save of this tournament. He saved a game Wednesday against Bradley to open the tournament. He had a save and pitched an inning Thursday night against Missouri State. It's the second most saves in a single season in Creighton history. He's got a 2-run lead in the ninth. And he works ahead of Johnny Coy. No balls and 2 strikes, and Coy isn't thinking about taking anything. He's coming right after Spomer.
No, he knows in the reputation Spomer is going to pound the strike zone. You can't sit there and get behind in the count because he can get to that breaking ball, but looks like something off speed here in the 0-2 pitch.
Off the end of the bat, Coy stays alive. He's 0 for 3 tonight is Johnny Coy. 4 for 20 for the tournament. But again, Coy All Valley this season. Started his career at Arizona State. Came back to Wichita State, a St. Joe kid. Originally as a basketball, baseball combo, and he stays alive, wasting that pitch.
Coy just trying to stay alive right here. He's going to get a couple different options here. I'm not sure how Spomer will go. We'll look and see if we can pick up the sign, but Coy's a free swinger, and he's not going to get cheated, even deep in the count.
Swing and a miss. First out of the inning. Creighton is 2 outs away.
Spomer chose to go to the slider.
Let's look at our State Farm Players of the Game, brought to you by State Farm Insurance. State Farm agents are there when you need them. Find an agent or get a quote at statefarm.com. Kirk?
Ty Block, excellent job. Middle relief, 3 2/3 innings, just 1 hit allowed and 6 strikeouts. Chris O'Brien extended his hitting streak to 29 games. Made an excellent throw to shut down a possible big inning in the middle of the ball game.
I don't know who votes for the Johnny Bench Award, but you need to vote for Chris O'Brien. Find me a catcher who's had a better year than the Wichita State catcher. 1 out here. Don Lambert's had a great tournament, but he's 0 for 3 tonight. Swings and misses at that. Lambert came into the game with 8 hits, 2 3-hit games in the tournament. The former Baylor Bear needs to try to get Wichita State going. But you can see he struck out looking in the 7th.
Spomer works quick, stays on top of the mound, gets the ball back. He's standing on the mound ready to throw quickly. He wants to work fast and work ahead.
Lambert zoned in. Decent swing there and fouls it back. If Creighton hangs on, what a job this pitching staff and Ed Service has done with these pitchers all week. 11 guys have all contributed. You know, they got the performance yesterday. Mattingly hadn't pitched hardly at all, and then he comes in and out of jams. Missouri State had a great opportunity to win that game with 2 on, and Mattingly gets it done. These guys have all taken their turns and got him looking. Don Lambert goes down looking. Creighton is 1 out away from the celebration here at this beautiful new ballpark. Again, Gene Stevenson in a brilliant career, a college baseball Hall of Fame career. 27 times he's gone to the NCAA tournament. They didn't make it last year, and if he loses tonight, probably won't make it this year. It hasn't happened since his first 2 years on the Hill. And it's down to Dane Parker, the freshman third baseman, who is 0 for 3 tonight.
One good sinker right there to get ahead. He's got a couple of options to go.
He works ahead of Parker, and now this crowd is on its feet. A crowd of nearly 7,000.
Parker's seen the fastball for strike 1, the slider there to go 2.
Is this the champion pitch? Nope. Going to go way outside, hoping that Parker would fish.
A slider off the plate.
Spomer. Grounded towards Swift. Creighton has done it. The Blue Jays, for the first time in school history, have won not only the regular season Valley Championship, Kirk champion, they have won the Valley Tournament Championship in front of a big crowd. What a moment for Ed Service, the Valley Coach of the Year, and his program.
An outstanding job by their bullpen. They just pieced it together tonight. 3-1 ball game. Once again, their defense was sound. Swift was outstanding at shortstop. Creighton goes to the NCAA tournament.
The Blue Jays have had an interesting week. In Wichita State, they lost Tim Kelly, their #1 starter. It made it difficult for the Shockers having to bump down the pitching staff. But Creighton now has a second trophy to polish in this season in this wonderful, beautiful new ballpark. A big night in Omaha, a big night for the Blue Jays.
Have you tried one of these? It's so good. Man, I can't believe we haven't done this before. Oh, wow, look at that.
Want a bite?
Your agent. Do the jingle. Do the jingle. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, guys.
Do it again. Do it again. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In my office.
State Farm.
I think we're good.
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
Quench your thirst for summertime fun at Casey's General Stores. Buy 2 32-ounce Powerades and get one free. Tame your hunger with one of our homemade to-go large taco pizzas for only $11.99. And stop into any Casey's and register to win free gas for a year along with other great giveaways.
It's all good in the summertime. Casey's General Store.
Back in Omaha, they are celebrating near the banks of the Missouri River. Ed Service, what a job he's done with this program. There's just a lot of momentum right now. Kirk Champion and these guys, your thought on the Creighton bullpen specifically?
Well, they're able to, just piece it together. They had a plan. They were going to use 4 or 5 different pitchers. They did. They put the ball in play. They know they've got sound defense. They're not afraid to attack the strike zone, throw the ground ball. They know they're going to catch it. 9 more innings today without an error, 12 innings last night. I mean, just real good sound defense. And your pitchers know that if the good defense is behind you, you're not afraid to pound the strike zone and throw the sinkers and pitch backwards if you have to. And just an impressive win by Creighton. Really an impressive year. 44 wins now. Top 5 or 6 in the country in wins. Going to the regional next week and certainly going to be able to defend themselves very well wherever they're sent.
One of the best years in Creighton history. Only 2 errors by the Blue Jays, Kirk, in the whole tournament. And these were high-stress games that they had to play most of the time.
Yeah, 2 games, twice they had to play 2 games in the same day. They had a 9 a.m. game followed by a 9:39 at night game. It was impressive, and it goes to all the hard work and the emphasis they put on defense, good athletic players, and just a nice job for Ed and his program.
In one game, they had to throw 7 pitchers. In another, they had to throw 6. Tonight, they had to throw 5. They started their #1 tonight on 2 days rest. They brought in their #2, Ty Block. And then they just handed the baton down through the bullpen. Timely hitting, good defense. It was a classic Creighton win for Ed Service. And now they await their fate in the NCAA Regional. Congratulations to the Creighton Blue Jays. They crown a champion tonight in Omaha. For Kirk Champion, I'm Mitch Holtis. Thanks for joining us all year long on the Valley Television Network.